Biggest shout out to our Patreons. We started this podcast when we were out of luck on the dole, and thanks to Patreon, we've been able to put the Northwest in the spotlight where it belongs.
For as little as £3 a month, you get access to an extra episode every week, plus a live show, which we have some of the biggest comedians in the UK joining us for that live show that we do every monthly, with comedians from the UK live on stage.
If you're a £10 Patreon, you get free tickets to the show every month as well.
She could bum me, lads.
There we go. Can I squeeze on them titties?
Lemon.
Got a proper tough skin, that.
Yeah, it's a fucking lemon.
I have trading cards of old granny porn stars.
Yeah, we've got loads of specials on the Patreon as well, everything from sports days. Genuinely think I've pulled the hamstring, but it'd be worth it when I win this trophy.
Sleepovers.
Axe throwing.
Puzzle rooms.
Amy wrote me a set to do on stage, which was dead embarrassing. Have a look at these. I have wanked over my nan.
The more you pledge, the more benefits you get, including early access, Q&A with guests, club cards, prints, discount on merch.
Loads of stuff. If you love this podcast and want to support it, get extra content, help us thrive, sign up today, patreon.com/The Mild High Club. Just £3 a month. What's that? Nothing, is it? Go ahead. Sign up.
Love you.
All right, I think.
Hello.
Good, yeah.
Hello. We're all here. We're starting. New studio. Hot off a little slumber party last night, aren't we?
Yeah.
Callum,
Look how beautiful this is. Sorry, but look, new logo.
this is
New
a bit big, isn't it? A bit big.
No, it hides the wires.
Oh,
Beautiful.
shh, don't mention the wires.
Big room, beams of dreams.
Beams of Dreams that Amy was crying over on Patreon.
I did, cried over the beams.
Absolutely sobbed about having this place because we was on.
It was,
May or may not have been on mushrooms.
they just make all your true emotions come to the surface, and I cried because this room's so big.
I didn't notice the beams.
Yeah.
Beams of
Beautiful out
Dreams, I
there.
know.
And just the fact that it's like in between Primark and Lush. I'm like, who are we? What's happened?
So we had a little Patreon special last night. James Allen and Callum Oakley, who's here now, stayed over at ours, didn't he? We had some fun sleepover games. And
yeah, and hi Harriet.
stuff like
Harriet's
that.
here.
Oh no, I was going to get to that. I was just plugging a little thing on the Patreon that we done.
Yeah.
Let's go have a look at that on the Patreon.
Yeah,
and
we
also,
had a sleepover. Can I tell them what you did?
well, no, not now, because you said we've got to introduce Harriet.
Well, I want to know what happened last
you'd have to
night.
sign
Okay.
up to Patreon, £3 a month.
So I did a bowl of truth or dare.
Oh, right.
So there was one that they're all off Cosmopolitan. I can't take credit for it, but there's one that I wrote myself, and Dean picked it out. And it was to go live on TikTok and be possessed in front of 100,000 people.
I've got 100,000 followers on TikTok, and I had to go live and pretend I was possessed. I had like all the lights off, a torch under my face, and I was just going.
That's what's great.
People were just like, what the
believe
fuck's going
I
on?
don't know.
I don't really believe me.
I don't reckon.
Oh, and everyone else crying, laughing around me as well. So we're back
Good fun.
with fan favourite. Been one of our big, well-received guests on this podcast.
Yeah, in
Everyone's
fact,
loved you.
our Patreons have said you were their favourite guest.
Yeah,
Well.
So it's lovely to have you back here. For anyone
what?
who didn't see the first one, it's Harriet Dyer.
We should do a guest awards eventually.
Guest awards.
Yeah,
Of like
yeah, and maybe best feature awards.
maddest story and shit like that. A
Yeah,
couple
have an
of
awards
at the end of the
ceremony.
year.
I like this.
We'll try this at the end of the year. You might win a lot of them.
Lankiest Cornish lady.
Oh.
Craziest legs,
Crazy as well.
Harriet Dyer. So, how was your Edinburgh run? You just got back from there.
Fun, I think. It was it was long. It was very long. But it was fun. I lived with nice people out of the way, and I think my show was good. What it was my show was quite traumatic. It was about about stuff I've actually not met, because I was thinking today I wonder if I've said all my stories, but no, I haven't, because I had a big, I mean, this is very depressing, but how do I say this nicely? I was like raped loads.
Oh, that might be the nicest way to say it, I think. Fuck me,
basically, like all my life before I was a comedian, there was like this fucking nutter and all this business. Anyway, so I did a show about that, but and I'm over it. But what I realised, talking about it every day for a month is stressful.
A little bit draining,
So that's what it was.
Yeah.
What's the nicest way to say this? That was the best way to say it as well. It was so shocking. Like,
I guess maybe groomed. That would have been nicer. Maybe groomed and assaulted.
Yeah, maybe.
And more nuzzled you in with the
Wasn't
gentle
as funny
assault.
though.
Yes.
Maybe if you just like sang it.
I was raped all my life. It was traumatic to relive for a month.
Best singer goes to Harriet Dyer as well.
Oh my god!
That's funny, that.
Crazy legs, crazy lyrics.
So you had a nice Edinburgh though, apart from the show being a little bit heavy on yourself.
Yeah, and it was because as life as comedy is, I guess it's one of those things, isn't it? That sadly, with everything, when you've got loads of money, you can make loads of money. So all the people that had thousands to throw at PR or whatever did a lot better. Obviously, I didn't have that. So there were days where the numbers weren't great, and having to do that show
Yeah, a bit tough that.
in front of a very upset. And then as well, like, I called the show Trigger Warning. I don't know how much clearer I could have been, and people were like, well, I just didn't think it would be. I was like, well, I don't know what more. It said a harrowing story in the blurb. I don't know.
You might have to put in the poster, I was raped loads. I'm talking about it. Come to the show.
Hashtag loads of rape. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what more I could have done, but still. I don't know. I always think it's interesting as well when people, because when it's your story, when people are like very upset, but I'm not upset.
Yeah.
So...
People get upset on
over
your
it.
behalf or something, and you're like, "Why? I'm joking about it. This is a stand-up show. It's not like a TED talk or anything."
Yeah, that just happens with goths in general because their default talking is horrible stuff, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And you're just like, "This is like hearted."
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's crazy. I really love your artwork for the trigger warning thing.
Oh,
that was amazing. Looked cool, didn't it? Have you saw it?
Yeah,
With all the
I've seen it.
scribbles and that.
I was retweeting Harriet a lot through the Edinburgh run.
like, so you're probably responsible for the two people in the audience looking very upset at what to do.
Maybe, yeah.
So that was good. So do you recommend doing Edinburgh, or is it because I feel like it's just too expensive?
The tide has changed, I think, because with stuff like what you're doing and what the Have a Word lads are doing and stuff like that, I don't think it's as essential to go to Edinburgh, because it's just. Because what's that? I think when those stories go around the circuit, and I don't know how real they are, but it was someone when they say like Chris Ramsey spent like 26 grand and then and sold out every night years ago, and then sold out every night and then still ended up paying like 23 of the grand. Like it's
only just breaking even or something like that. Yeah,
it's a system. I mean, I think that's probably been embellished. But, when you could get, could you hear it?
I heard it a little bit.
Yeah. See, when I'm on stage, when sometimes I do those burps that go, and I never know whether anyone's heard. Yeah, and I think, but my friend Jack, who I was living with in Edinburgh, he said, because we lived near a lagoon on the outskirts, and he said that he thinks behind my ears I have gills, and when we go to the lagoon, he's going to release me back into the sea. I really loved the idea of that.
Why did they think you're a sea creature?
I think if anyone would be.
Yeah, right,
I think
your crazy legs don't work on land. As soon as you're water-based, nothing can stop you.
It all makes sense. Okay.
Have you ever, I'm going to aim this at you because I don't know, you might have as well. Have you ever farted on stage? I haven't done it, but sometimes before you're going on, you get a bit nervous and you're like, oh, a bit of a nervous belly. Like, I hope I don't. But usually when you go up, I don't think about anything else. Then don't need not on just thinking about stand up, so it sort of goes away. But that must be a bad one, farting on stage and being around just going, no one.
I've done it on the way. So
That's good though, because then you've left it in the crowd.
Well, no, because then the audience have done a Mexican wave of, and you can see them.
As it gets to you, you're like, oh no, I'm next.
Have
you ever done it?
No. I've done the same way. I've walked onto stage and just like wafted and followed me. Then the MC just stares at me like, you shit.
That's bad, that.
Like, how scared's Callum for this gig?
Shitting yourself on stage must be rough, man. Some people have had to have done it, innit?
Didn't Dave Grohl do it?
Oh.
Didn't he have a nappy on? And he was like ill.
Oh,
but
maybe.
He still carried on doing his tours. And
He's a baller with stuff like that, innit?
Yeah.
Like, he fucking broke his leg and he was like, I'll be back in 2 hours. And come back with 2 hours with the cast on and carried on playing the show. Like, proper sick to the fans and that.
God.
So that doesn't put it past me. Like,
but he's still cool even though he shit himself. He's the only one who can still be cool.
Yeah, the coolest man wearing a nappy ever.
Lou Conran shot herself in Edinburgh.
Did she?
She was
Is she alright with you saying this?
Probably not. She was hosting the So You Think You're Funny finalist compilation show, so couldn't even like nip. No one was doing 20s to like nip off.
Right, okay.
And she was just like, well, now I'm the lady just waddling around in her own shit.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
That's
probably
a bad
Warner
one,
that have said that.
Yeah.
Just give her a little text. It won't be out for a few weeks, this anyway, so you got time to let her know.
That's crazy. Did we talk about poo last night?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's still behind the paywall, actually.
Oh, James's story about getting a waft of poo. Yeah. We can't, it's Patreon only. And back here.
James Allen, the lovely little chap.
Yeah, James Allen.
That lovely chap.
I am shocked.
He deep throated the banana on our thing last night as well.
You what?
He deep throated the banana.
No one asked him to do it either.
It wasn't a day.
He just went, hey guys, watch this. This is what we do at sleepovers, is it? And just started sucking a banana off. It was mad.
Sounds a Patreon for that.
£3, you can watch that.
So one of our, I don't know if we had this staple question last time you was on, Harriet, but we focus on what your addiction is. What's your addiction? And it can be coffee or phone. It doesn't have to be illegal.
Could be dancing.
What, now my addiction?
Or past addictions.
Past
Addictions you've
No, I think it
overcome.
should be now, though, innit?
Yeah, but we can do the full spectrum.
By the way, 100 gains is like a well-quoted line in my life and on TikTok
Yeah.
since you were on. Anytime there's 100 of anything, like,
Yeah,
100
100
gains. It's funny,
Well,
that.
because do you do the subtitles? Because you had to message me, didn't you, and go,
I didn't know what you were saying, yeah. I didn't know if you were saying gams or something. And I was like, you said what? And Amy was like, she's saying gains. I was like, I don't know what it is. So I
because
had
you
to check.
gurn, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I surmised.
It made sense, but in my head I was also like, it's Harriet. She might be calling them something mad.
Might be a Cornish slang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I used to be addicted to speed, but now, now what am I addicted to?
We asked you this, Callum? Your addiction.
I've got many addictions.
Okay. Have we talked about
We'll get to yours in a minute. So when you said 100 gains, is that ecstasy or speed?
Ecstasy.
Okay, so
that was me not addicted.
so then when did the speed stuff come in then?
Well, I don't know. I think whilst I'd be on the pills, people would be like, wow, because I bought, but you'll have to tell me if I've said stuff on here before because I can't remember what I've said and what I remember buying. I don't know if this is the first occasion, but I bought a wrap of speed off my friend's dad. He's dead now, God rest his soul, at this barn dance rave. Did I tell you about this?
No! Here we go.
So
What's a wrap of speed?
well, just in a Rizzler.
Okay.
And then I was like, right, well, I'll do some lines of this, but it was like at a farm with all like mud and stuff. So I was like, well, I'm just eating half mud. So I just like ate it all, and I think that was the first time I did speed, and oh my god, it was fantastic.
Is it good? Yeah.
Did a barnyard rave?
But it's dirty.
Did they did they have a lot of barnyard raves in Cornwall?
Well, I just wherever anyone took me really, and I would go because this. I'm sure I mentioned this. This was where there was the So one of my routines. This is where there were the peacocks.
Peacocks.
What? Peacock.
Yeah, I used to have it as a. Do you know what a peacock sounds like? Ow! 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 That's what a peacock
It's a
sounds
good
like.
peacock noise.
Thank you. And because I had it in my set for ages, because don't you think when peacocks make the noise, they sound meow? They sound like they're saying Neil. And I was with my friend Neil when he was off his tits, and he was like, "Why are they all speaking to me?" You saw me in my set. Why did I tell you that? Oh yeah. So, but I broke my ankle on a bale of hay. And then I don't know whether it was that night, I got my leg stuck through a 12-foot paper mache donkey.
What?
That's it, really.
Yeah. Was it like a pinata, or was it just like an ornament or something?
No, well, I sat on it.
Okay.
So it must have
But
been.
what was it though first?
Oh, a paper mache donkey.
Yeah. But why? Where at this farmyard rave?
Yeah, because it's a rave. You just,
Right, so they set up like paper mache.
Yeah.
Right. Not so, okay, instead of actual donkey.
Sorry, I forgot.
There was nothing in it other than my foot.
Okay. So you put your foot through it because you
Shit, pinata.
you said no Gary's in there or nothing. Because you said on last time that you used to like get drunk and like put your head through stuff and that. So did you?
Yeah, because that's how I went
deaf?
That's how I went deaf.
Yeah. So did you put your foot through it just because you had one of those little bouts of rage?
I must have. I don't know. I think I always used to, if I wasn't getting enough attention, I'd just like wander off. And because I had weird friends. Did you ever have friends like this? Like if you ever did pills, they'd go like, if you make yourself sick, then you'll come up better. It's like, yeah, but then I'm making myself sick. That's not a fun.
That's
time.
weird, isn't it? Because I thought you being sick gets the pill out of you or whatever.
Oh yeah, so they must. Yeah, because I think I don't know. I think that then I don't know. I think about it. I don't know. Unless they must wait for it to digest a bit, and then that's too much
mad,
logistics.
Yeah, you don't need to be being sick just to come up off a pill.
I'd always be sick anyway after the speeds because it's dirty and rotten.
Is it? Yeah.
But it's so much fun while you're on it, and cheap, very cheap.
That's why I like acid. Like that's cheap for the time that it lasts. I think.
Yeah. Get a good like about 12 hours off a little half a tab, wasn't it? It was mad.
Yeah.
12 hours.
And that was last time I was here because you were laughing at the light or something.
Yeah.
That was
Because I thought it wore off, and then I was in the bedroom looking at the light, going, "Nah, definitely still working." This it's been like 12 hours or something. It was mad.
Yeah, it's mad. So speed.
Back in the day, loved it. I think that was when I went. Did I tell you about when I went on the run? Did I not? See, there's two. So that. So now I don't know if I've got too many stories on the go.
Never too many. I'll keep track.
Okay.
Never enough.
I feel like we've not got that many on the go yet either.
Well, this one's a few.
Okay, let's go.
Because a lot of
Brace
things.
yourself, guys.
This one is a few. Love it.
Because I don't know whether I've merged going on the run. I feel like I've merged a few stories in my head, and I don't know whether that one I got. I don't know whether it's this I got sectioned at, or I went to a play the day after, and then abseiled.
Wow.
So I went to this barn dance rave.
Sounds like a normal day for you.
In Greece.
Like Shutter Island or something.
I don't know whether I got sectioned or went to a nice play and abseiled. Like,
No, it was a terrible time for abseiling because I was
not being sectioned. No, the abseiling was the
Section was
yeah
the
because it
fun part.
sounds lovely, but it was.
Did you
but
abseil out of the asylum?
yeah, maybe it was all a part of the what's it called when you what's it called? The
Disassociation.
no, when you oh no, I've just got disassociation in my head.
you stop.
The psychosis.
Psychosis. Okay.
Psychosis. Do you know Will? We was doing the camera.
Yeah.
I did a song with him. He filmed, and that was psychosis. Dinosaurs, they're everywhere, even in my Tupperware. We did this anyway. So I was at this barn dance rave, did a load of speed, and then I got my foot stuck in a 12-foot paper mache donkey. Then got rescued by a man dressed as Bob Marley. Possibly racist because there's no one white in Cornwall.
There's no one white.
Wait a minute.
There's no Rastafarians in Cornwall.
Yeah, so he must have been
Bit of cultural appropriation going on there.
blacked up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, fully blacked up as well. Not even just wearing the hat and the dreads.
Do you know what though? My mum even blacked me up once.
Shut up.
Yes.
Why?
Awful busy. What happened was because I had.
At least you didn't black yourself up. Yeah.
What? There's a photo of me. Oh wait, well it was sort of very heavily browned up, I guess, technically. But so I had this wig because I dressed up as Michael Jackson for something, and then my mum was like, "You need to get use out of that." So you should. So it was fancy dress party at school. So my mum was like, "I reckon you should probably dress up as Bob Marley," and I was like, "Oh, fine."
What's with the obsession with Bob Marley and Cornwall?
Oh yeah. So this could have been the psychosis, and I could have been rescuing myself from a 12-foot paper mache.
Oh, maybe a younger you come back from the past to the future, dressed as Bob Marley to save you, but had to be in disguise because otherwise you'd have been like, "Are you me?" And you're like, "No, no,
and
man."
I've got my own leg. I'm taking my own leg out of a donkey.
If you pan out from that shot, I think you're dressed as Bob Marley with your foot in a donkey, going, "How the fuck do I get out of here?"
Leave it to me, Harriet. Box time. Bob Marley being me.
So you got rescued by a man dressed as Bob Marley.
Yeah, but wait a minute. I've
donkey.
just got to finish telling you about when I dressed as Bob Marley.
Okay.
So then I had my mum also, because I dressed up as a werewolf for the previous Halloween, and then so my mum said, "Oh, we've got that hairy chest when you were a werewolf." So then I had Bob Marley, which was just long hair, then a hairy chest. I don't even know if
Classic
Bob Marley
Bob Marley.
I don't even know if he was known for hairy
He's
chest.
always showing off his hairy chest.
I was thinking about this the other day because the balls of just walking around Cornwall dressed as, because I had to walk 2 miles to school, to the school disco. So then I've just walked dressed as Bob Marley with this girl that lived near me. I was thinking, why did she walk with me?
What was she dressed as?
Nothing.
Why were you dressed up?
I don't know. And then there's a photo of me and all my friends were sexy Transylvanian. You know, what's it called?
The vampires,
Let's
is it?
do the time warp.
The fucking
Transvest.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
So they were like,
You
just
said Transylvanians.
It's the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I think
not
so,
from
something
Transylvania.
like
Is
that.
it Transylvanians?
I think they're based. It's based
I
in.
think so. Don't quote me on that. And then, so they
She
were
thinks
all.
Bob Marley was in it.
So, yeah, Bob Marley was nothing to do with it. But in this photo, I'll have to send it you, all the girls in my class are dressed as Rocky Horror Picture Show, all like booby, sexy. And then I'm just randomly in the corner dressed as Bob Marley.
Hey, Bob Marley.
Please send us that.
Yeah, we can find that. We'd love that one.
Unless you don't want
funny,
it
that.
going out because
Because I am browned up.
yeah.
We'll blur your face out on it if you want.
Who's that? Because it's not something. That probably is something someone could get cancelled for, is it?
I don't know
Definitely.
if you'd get cancelled for being
I
a
think so.
child and your mum's done it to you. If
Yeah.
you were an adult and then you went out, say if you were like in your 20s maybe,
How old?
that's a bit more thingy. But if you go into a school disco, I don't think that's cancellable.
Yeah, I'm like
is
14.
Yeah,
Okay.
nah, fuck that.
Is
yeah.
it?
That's
And
fine.
You didn't know any better.
yeah, it's really bad though, isn't it?
I mean, it's not great, yeah, but like
And my mum was such a lovely person.
a lovely race.
Lovely, right? I need to stop.
I'm like,
So get
if
off
this-
that and go back
if
to the
this wasn't
speed and
gonna
the
get me
psychosis.
cancelled, how about this?
Donkeys.
Donkeys.
So they rescued you at your foot in the thing, and then
Yeah.
what happened after that?
So then, I think I hitchhiked back to Cornwall, back to Truro, where I'm from, and then was hungry. So then went and got a pot noodle, but was gurning.
What's your go-to pot noodle?
Chicken and mushroom.
Okay.
Yeah, it would always. Theo would always be the Bombay bad boy. I was just.
You shout me then.
You said Bombay bad boy anyway. Did you shout me then?
Is that what you call yourself? It is now.
It is now. That's going to be every episode you're on now, featuring the Bombay bad boy.
Can imagine
That's
you.
your-
Was it?
You change your username.
Tagging it.
Yeah, tag
tagging
name.
it, yeah.
Bombay bad boy's been here. And then when you sleep with ladies, you leave them with a sting.
Yeah. Just leave a little
Sting.
sachet of hot sauce on the bed, on the pillow when you leave. You've been bad boy. Right, so
I love it.
you went to get a pot noodle.
Oh yeah. Then the police came along and genuinely, so they pulled me over, but I was by foot. And then they said they genuinely thought I was a missing person.
Yeah.
So then I was like, but I'm here. And then because they needed
So we just pulled Bob Marley over.
with the and then so then they were like, have you got any ID? But at the time, because I was 17, so at the time I had fake ID, so I showed that I was Lucinda Minnow, you see. So then I showed them that. They didn't know anything otherwise, so they left me on my way. And then but then because I wasn't very well mentally, I was like, it's only a matter of time before the police realise that I'm not Lucinda Minnow, and then they tell the government, because it's clearly a government matter. There's only one thing for it, I'm going to have to go on the run. So then I've gone home to get my on-the-run outfit, which was jelly shoes, chinos, braces, a shirt with a frill, because nothing says on the run like a Jacobean ruff. Yeah, and then I was, but by that point I thought, you best stop the drugs now, Harriet, and start drinking gin. So then I was drinking gin, and then I was like, I need to get collateral. So then I went to so then I was at home just waiting for the banks to open, went to the bank, got money out, and then...
Did you pack a bag?
No.
So you just went in one outfit, just hoping for the best?
Yeah, and that was, I don't know what I was thinking. Because did I ever tell you about, I'm jumping again, but did I ever tell you about, I did tell you when I thought, when I had psychosis so bad that I thought it was Kat Slater from EastEnders.
No.
Did I not?
No. No. You thought you was Kat Slater?
No.
Yeah, you do. I did.
No, I don't remember that.
No, I would have remembered.
But I was like, I'm your mother, screaming at people.
Really?
Who? Anyone?
Just anyone, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there's so much going on. I'm so sorry.
Don't say sorry. It's a great.
We love this.
That's why we want you on.
But then, that was the time I got money out, and then was trying to leave where I'm from, and then heard sirens, thought they were onto me, and then tried to, because the police were that way. So then I tried to go that way, but there was a river, and the tide was out. So then I got stuck in the mud. I was trying to sprint across the river, got stuck in the mud. So then I was just like the head from Heart Attack, stuck in the mud. And
it's
then
me, Kat Slater.
Formerly known as the head from Heart Attack, stuck in the mud. And then the fire brigade and the police had to come get me out. And then
So you were proper stuck, yeah?
oh yeah, really stuck. Like
Pull you out? Did they pull you out like from your head?
the claw get underneath me.
Claw, like Toy Story.
And then when
It's there for hours. Keeps slipping off. Nearly out now. Oh, fuck. These are rigged, these bastards. 200 quid I've spent trying to get Harriet out.
But then when they finally hoisted me at such velocity, all the money came out of my pockets, and I was like a pinata.
Full circle. Love it.
Oh, mate. That's funny, that.
But
So is that how far you got on the run? You got stuck in the mud and then had to go home?
Failed miserably.
You ruined your runaway outfit, hadn't you? It's fucked.
But if you can get stuck in mud with jelly shoes, there's no hope. You would have thought that would be the way to not get stuck, really.
With jelly shoes?
Jelly shoes. I love jelly shoes.
Oh, yeah.
But then, because I don't know, I think that was the time I got sectioned, but it could have been the time when I did lots of speed and then I forgot I was supposed to be in a play the next day.
So you were in a play on a come down?
Yeah.
Can I just ask, like, when you got rescued from the mud, what was the conversations?
No, because by that point I thought I was Kat Slater from EastEnders. So they were like doing like a pincer movement towards me, and I was like, "Fuck this," and then sprinted. So because they only sectioned me at this pub called Bunter's. Oh, fantastic place!
Did you run the pub?
Yeah.
Hello, my pub.
It was lovely. There was a man that I convinced myself was Alfie Moon, and he ended up taking me off to a bench and talking to me, trying to talk me down, but there was no talking me down.
Right. That's nice though. At least he tried, isn't it?
And I think
classic Alfie Moon, nice
classic.
guy.
He was a lovely fella, Alfie Moon, wasn't he?
But Shane Ritchie's supposed to be awful, isn't he?
Oh, is he? I don't know.
Well, if you listen to COUGHLIN.
Rooney?
Nolan.
No, Colleen Rooney is the one who's giving out all the goss recently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't trust Shane Ritchie.
So, you go on a play. What was the play on a come down?
Oh, I thought you said you're on a plane. You're on a plane. You're in.
Improvising games.
Well, it was like this theatre group in Cornwall just used to do these. They used to like make up their own plays. It was like the year before. It was fantastic. I was this alien, and I came out of it. So I'd have to fire a fire extinguisher, and then for the smoke, and then come out.
Oh, do your own smoke? Was it? Yeah.
And then I had to come out of like this. They'd made this spaceship, and then I was like roaming around. It was like specific. So people you had to like go up to people and all that. And then this year I was supposed to abseil. Oh, I've got bugs on my face. Abseil. Can you see it? There's no bugs. There's nothing there. So no, I can't.
There's been a little web or something, maybe. I don't know what hair.
I had to pull over on the way to Edinburgh because I thought there were spiders making webs on my elbows, and it was the air conditioner tickling my elbows. Anyone else have that? So,
bugs making webs on my elbows.
People get webs tattooed on their elbows.
You've got webs.
No, but like that's like it was a big thing, like in alternative, to get webs on their elbows and stuff. So just you saying that it was a funny image in my head because
maybe that's what I need. No, because then I'd always think I had webs on my elbows because I would.
Yeah, permanently. Yeah. So where were we then? The play. You were abseiling something.
So it was like a specific Cornish play, the sequel to the one where I was an alien, where I did very well. So I was like the main part, but then because I'd taken so much speed, the next day I'd woken up to loads of phone calls saying that I was supposed to be at this play. Oh my god, I was about to do one of them bits then. So then I've sprinted up, going, oh bloody hell, I've got to get to this play. And then you know when you're in the bathroom and there's those I don't know if you still get, you must get those metal bits that go across between the bathroom and the hallway.
Right, yeah, like a separator.
Yeah,
type thing,
and they've got like screws in them. So there must have been a screw a bit out in my bathroom, and I've slipped off the bathroom and I've sliced my foot open, and my foot is like blah, 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 like a sliced open foot. I was gonna say like a jellyfish, but it's not like a jellyfish. So then I was like bloody hell. So then I've got to go to the bloody theatre, and then the first bit they're like, Harriet, you're so late, and I've had to get there, then abseil down the side of the fucking theatre because it was the start of the play.
Outside
Down the theatre.
So the audience are outside as well?
Oh, no, it's rehearsals.
Oh, okay.
So I'm rehearsing for the first day rehearsals of this play whilst I'm on a come down, and then, so I've just sliced my foot open, put my shoe on, not thought much of it, abseiling down, gurning, and then there's just blood pouring down the side. So then I was axed.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, good. My career in tatters.
God.
But it's funny, isn't it, when you get, because I was so such a mess back then that I always but the south of the they, like, in my head, it's still a bit now, because when you just said that, I thought, bloody hell. But still now, I'm like, how dare they? You know, I'm so hard done by that situation where, in reality, like, what were they supposed to do? I was an absolute shambles.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So did you not take it well, being axed?
No, I didn't. I probably then went on another bender and I was like, oh, well, I'll show them.
Yeah.
But I was just, because the theatre group that ran that, also, every Sunday I'd run these workshops, and I remember sometimes I wouldn't even have stopped doing drugs. I just turn up, having to and be teaching people's children.
Oh yeah,
bloody hell!
That probably happens well more than you think, though. Like teachers being out, going out on a bender,
I'd be on drugs.
Like,
yeah, but these are because there wasn't CRB checks.
Right.
DAB. They're different now, isn't it? It's DAB or.
That's digital radio, isn't it? Just check what you're listening
to. So, your addiction now.
Oh, yes. Well,
would you say you're addicted to buying shoes and that? Is that a thing?
I'd say.
Or do you just buy them every now and then?
Is it a little indulgence?
I'm not very good at that. No, I do, but mine's. I've never been like the latest. You know, the people that love trainers that will buy a
just drop ones.
Yeah. I don't have the budget for that. So I guess my obsession. I go on eBay and I set alarms for when the bidding is to try and like get last minute.
Right.
So I guess
That's a thrill.
Yeah.
That's what you live for,
Yeah, and even stuff like if you want Nike Jordans, because people are idiots. Sometimes if you type my last ones, if you type in the spelling mistake of Jordan, because people have
How do they spell it?
so Jordan instead of Jordan.
Right.
So then I was typing in that, and I was like, these dumb bastards. And then I was there.
That's boss.
You've Devo bought like loads of fake Nike Jordans.
Well, because you have to, because now
Like Jandons.
you can get the ticks, don't you? Yeah.
Look at these suckers.
Yeah, I'm walking. They're so shit. I'm walking 2 steps and the soles come off.
That happened to me. Right, I used to have a vintage shop and I bought 100 pair of vintage shoes.
That
Right.
was
You had a
hilarious,
vintage
that.
shop?
Yeah, when I was 19.
Wow.
And they was all like, they'd just been in storage since the 70s. And so
So many pairs of shoes,
100
wasn't it?
pairs, 99 pairs of shoes. And yeah, so everyone was out walking in them, including me. And they just fell off.
Oh no.
Just falls a bit. They just disintegrate off your feet.
The
And
glue
there's
was gone.
hundreds of pairs sold across all of St. Helens.
Fucking hell.
Everyone's walking around with
It was
no
like
shoes on.
eco shoes.
Yeah, biodegradable.
Self-recyclable shoes.
Yeah. Mad.
Oh, awful.
You say it's people's feet though, so it's not my fault. Your feet are so acidic.
That's it. Yeah,
Burning
they
through
smell
my eco
so
shoes.
bad.
Yeah.
that they've rotted the leather.
Funny that.
Yeah.
It must be moths. Was it moths?
It was moths, vintage moths.
vintage moths. in neckties.
Little molecule and that. I'm a
On
vintage
penny
moth.
farthings. Right, Callum, your
Hello.
addiction.
My addiction.
Sorry, bye.
The Bombay bad boy.
I love this.
I like this new thing you're going for.
Thanks, guys. I'm addicted to mobile phone games, me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you spend money on like pool cues for
Yeah, pool cues.
the little pool, virtual pool,
You've got
mini
a
clip
little
pool.
virtual. Wait a minute.
No, he buys like computer pool
You can get
cues.
games on your phone.
Can't touch them.
Oh, but you don't have sticks, little mobile sticks.
No.
Oh, that'd be good.
That would be interesting, that.
That'd be so hard
Your
to do.
fingers. You could put your finger in a brace, so it became a snooker
snooker cue.
stick, and then you just be there. Oh no, because it wouldn't be able to bend.
You have to just go.
Flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
But it's not them. It's
Not that exciting.
it's literally just a fake pool cue on your phone, and he pays for them.
Yeah.
A lot.
The most I've spent is $12.99.
How much do you think you've spent overall on pool cues? Virtual pool cues?
Probably on that game about £80.
£80,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm one of these where I get addicted to the game for like a few weeks, and then because I'm getting like battered by everyone online, I'm like, oh, I'll just buy some more stuff.
And that'll make you better.
But then I end up like going up in the leaderboards, and then I just get fucking battered by other people. So
Yeah.
it's just
Better
like
people,
yeah,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like self-harm.
It is, yeah. I didn't say it was going to be a fun story.
It's addiction, innit? It's addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, mobile games. I need to stop the smoking as well.
Yeah.
Smoke way too much, you know.
Smoking.
Yeah, it's good fun though, isn't it?
I miss smoking. I always
the
have
best.
dreams now that I'm smoking still.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, have you tried to quit before? Do you want to quit?
Well, I got hypnotised.
You told me that when you turned 25, you were going to stop.
Yeah,
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
Okay. You went. Callum said to me, "Oh, I'm going to stop when I get to 25 because I heard that after you turn 25, your lungs can regenerate themselves if you stop. Gives you enough time for your lungs to like heal up."
Do you want me to shout at you?
But he's 27 now and still smoking, so that didn't work.
So I paid for this guy to hypnotise me to stop smoking, and that lasted 24 hours.
How much did he charge you?
I think it was like £100.
But people swear by that.
My mum and dad had it done. They were
Yeah.
chain smokers for nearly like 15 years, and they both got hypnotised and just stopped completely.
By the same guy?
Mine was a different one.
Yeah, I think this is the problem.
You've been had off there.
Yeah.
You've been hypnotised by a shyster.
Charlatan. Oh, we should get them on. Get them to hypnotise us. What would you?
Vinnie Showman. I want to get Vinnie
That's
Showman.
the guy who done
Yeah.
me, yeah.
Yeah,
Sick
but
him.
that one didn't work. Who did your parents go to?
I don't actually know.
Okay,
Yeah,
find out
it was a
that.
while ago, like.
Yeah. What would you get hypnotised out of?
Fear of flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate flying.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And people go, it's the safest way to travel. Like, I don't care if it's safe. It's still, anything bad could happen the whole time you're on this. So I just sit looking out the window going, nah, this isn't good, this. And as soon as we land, I'm like, hey. But the whole, like, we went to Australia and I just wasn't excited. The whole build up to going, the flight there. And as soon as we landed in Australia, I like stood up on the plane like, we're in Australia, wow! And everyone was like, Jesus, shut up. And I was going, because I survived. Do you know what I mean? I was there then. But that whole waiting to go and getting on the plane, I have like nightmares of like planes fucking, and I'm like, I'm not even going on a plane. Like, I'm not even going on one now. Well, I am now, but we got one plan. But I, like, for ages, no flights planned at all. And I'd still have dreams of like being in some sort of plane accident or something. It's weird. I don't know what it is.
I think I'd be hypnotised to make myself healthier.
Pretty healthy already,
Like,
isn't
do
it?
you know, to make yourself exercise and that? Because that's just something I can't really do on my own. I just stay in bed.
Don't you just get a personal trainer? What's that?
Yeah, I don't reckon you
More
could hypnotise
expensive,
yourself
That, the minute you have to pay them every time.
to
True.
do exercise, though.
What?
I don't reckon that'd work.
Yeah, I feel like you want someone to do the exercise for you.
I mean, that's the best.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Go and go on the
the
treadmill
idea.
for me, please.
Yeah.
That'd be
But
so
just your
good.
skin just flops on.
Just over someone's back, like a backpack.
In McDonald's, yeah.
Just in McDonald's looking like Robbie Williams on the Rock DJ video, no skin on. It's getting a McFlurry in there. Someone's wearing your skin on a treadmill.
Oh my gosh, that's weird.
Should we go with a Patreon question?
Well, I've got another question that we're asking
go on.
now, which is, what's your toxic trait and your saving grace?
Oh.
Is that a hard one? Have you got a toxic trait?
I think a true toxic person would not say that, would they? Because we probably all have them, and
I think everyone's got one.
I think I get in my own head.
Yeah.
I think
Like-
that's what I
It's
struggle.
negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
what I do, yeah.
oh, toxic to yourself.
Is that,
yeah.
is that right?
Well, it could
It's
be
to
anything,
yourself,
yeah.
innit?
I thought it was like, what makes you a secret cunt?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've got, but like I have road rage. That could be a toxic trait outwards. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
he has
all
angry
yeah.
outbursts.
Because like if someone does, I'd be like, "You fucking." And Amy's like, "What if they're just like a nervous driver?" I'm like, "You're fucking stopping me, though." Like that's a toxic trait outwards, but then a toxic trait inwards would be like self-sabotage type of
Yeah,
thing. So either or, really, whatever.
Slow walkers.
Oh.
Freak out. Or the ones who like, when you're walking and they just zigzag across you.
Yeah, they just turn.
They
You're
can
like,
get
"Wow."
to
Yeah.
fuck.
Just
And
like
what I
powering
do
through
that is
people.
driving. So I'll go really fast, overtake loads of people, and then I'll be like, oh, is that a fly over there? Then I'm like, zigzag off, and then go really slow. I'll see people like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? So I'm a big hypocrite on the road because I'll get angry and then I'll just do something like that, and I'll be like, oh, this is quite sticky down here. And then I'll just
I got spiders on there.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't drive, I think. I would die.
Yeah.
I can imagine you driving to a place but ending up in a completely different place because you got distracted on the way.
Yeah.
My friend's done that. I was supposed to meet her, and then she typed in she was at a gig. Say she was going to come to Nottingham or no Mansfield or something, and then she must have done a gig ages ago in Nottingham. So then she's put in like N, and then the postcode's come. Then she's gone to a fucking gig.
Yeah, right.
And we're like, where are you? And she's like, I'm not here. I'm at a blooming gig in the. What was the?
Who are you growling at?
But sorry, I was just upset with my own wet story, really, that meandered into nothing.
Can I have a little 5-minute break? We've done 45 there. Just need to go for a minute.
45
Flew by that.
Yeah, that's why
Flying.
we love having you on.
Back in a minute. Feel supreme.
We contacted these guys ourselves because we wanted to be sponsored by a brand that we genuinely believed in.
If you want to improve your sleep, digestion, relieve stress, everything you want for an easier life, you need to get on Feel Supreme.
We started using the Lion's Mane tincture, which was winner of the best supplement award in the UK. We put it in our coffee in the morning and it helps with memory and focus. Studies show that Lion's Mane stimulates the growth of brain cells and helps to protect against disease such as Alzheimer's. And it's the easiest way to do it. Just put it in your coffee in the morning.
Lovely. Tastes nice.
Done.
Flying.
Wash.
Have you ever heard of nicotinamide riboside?
What's that, dear?
Riboside, motherfucker. Neither had we.
We hadn't heard of it either. You need to look it up because apparently it's a natural anti-aging supplement. Widely studied health benefits that you can use to treat cardiovascular, neurodegenerative and metabolic disorders.
Who doesn't want to deal with the metabolic and neurodegenerative
And
disorders?
cardiovasculars.
I do.
They've got loads of stuff. They've got CMOS, they've got hemp protein, stuff for your brain, stuff for your guts, stuff you've never heard about. But once you read up on it, you'll be like, why have I not heard of this? And why isn't it taught in schools?
Ashwagandha.
Shilajit.
All this stuff is good for you.
We're not just making up words. These are actual things that you need to know about.
They make you feel supreme.
TMHC 15.
For 15% off, you feel 15% more supreme
Yeah.
with 15% off TMHC 15.
Feel supreme.
Go get your brain stronger.
We'll get some Riverside.
Feel supreme.
Hello. If you're enjoying this episode, give it a little like, a thumbs up. Is that the same thing? I think it's the same thing. Give us a comment. Show us some love and appreciation. Don't make this a toxic one-way relationship.
Nobody likes that. All you need to do, little comments in the comment section to help our algorithm. Give us a little follow on social medias, the Mild High Club UK, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all them. If you're liking what we're doing, see it online. Give us a little share.
We do get like suppressed on TikTok and stuff, so sometimes we can't post stuff on TikTok. So follow us on all social medias to make sure you're never missing a clip. Hit the ding dong bell.
Wherever that is. Drop a comment down in the little comments for us. Let people know you're here. Join in the club and that. Support us. Love yous. Back to the episode.
Love you, bye.
Ta.
It must have to suck those little metal things.
We're just talking about how animals drink.
Yeah, that's got to be a suck emotion on it.
It might just be a lick. Lick the ball on the end of the tube.
Not those things though with the metal thing, because there's just water, because it's upside down and the water's just in there, isn't it?
There's a ball at the end of the thing,
Is
and
that
they
what-
lick the ball like a ballpoint pen, like ink comes out.
So that stops, and then as the ball comes, water will come.
Oh, that makes sense. Because otherwise it would just keep
Wow.
Yeah.
pouring out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's interesting, that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad.
all that time working in a pet shop's really come up to
Did you
pay
work in a pet
dividends.
shop?
Ask me about hamsters, fish, neon tetras. Anybody?
What's a neon tetra?
It's a cute little fish.
What's he say?
A neon tetra.
We said neon Tetris.
I mean, I nearly did. Just
What
without
is
the
it?
S. It's a fish.
A fish called neon Tetris.
Tetra.
Neon Tetra.
Yeah.
Tra.
Yeah.
Tra.
Yeah, it was dead hard, like catching the fish, because someone would be like, "Oh, I want that one," so you'd have to like scoop it and put it in a bag for them. But sometimes they would evade capture, and you could be there for like an hour, being like, "I'm trying to get this bastard in," and sometimes they jump out of the tanks and commit suicide.
In the night.
Anytime, because when
No,
you're
no one's around. Go. It's loads of fish in single file.
It gets lonely in the night time.
Well, because in the day you'd put them back in, wouldn't you?
not if they're dead.
Don't take them out the tank, though.
No, because they
night time.
they jump out the back, so we can't even see.
They live in the tank, don't they? In a pet shop.
Got like
Yeah.
loads of little flowers on like
Where else would they live?
the top of the rim of the bowl. So they've all been jumping out.
Oh.
Yeah.
You put a net or a trampoline so they jump out.
A little fish trampoline.
Just land them with their arms.
Something like that. Little signs.
Amazing.
Right. Patreon questions.
Wait, so this isn't a question, but Hayley Louise says she is my favourite guest ever. Love, love, love her and her Gurn stories.
There you go. A nice little message for you there.
Nice. And then Jane Pickering has said, please ask Harriet what her best 3-course meal would be and what novel she is currently reading. Or the last one, and what she thought of it.
Oh,
It's kind of like 3 questions there.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
So you best 3-course meal.
That's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do I
Maybe like your death row meal. Maybe do
Oh.
that. So it's like
Okay, Knickerbocker Glory for afters.
Oh, however, will I pick Knickerbocker Glory?
Yeah, well, because I thought I
Is that ice
can't.
cream?
Yeah, but
Okay.
like proper Sunday with
Yeah.
all the with those fancy wafers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So because I was thinking, well, I won't be able to fit, but then I thought that, so that'll be my dessert. Quite like.
But you could have that for starters if you wanted. It's your
Well,
meal.
yeah.
Do you prefer sweet to savoury?
No.
No.
Oh,
But
have
that
it last
is-
then.
Pardon?
Have it last then.
Yeah, I love it last. Because I used to have one every Saturday with my mum, so that's like a nice memory as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that for afters, first course, salt and pepper king prawns, delicious. Middle course, roast dinner.
That's a wild one. Salt and pepper prawns, roast dinner,
Knickerbocker
Knickerbocker
Glory.
Glory. Hey, nice. That's a good one,
I
that.
like it, covering all bases.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a roast
I
dinner.
think you can't go wrong with a roast, can you? It's got a bit of
No.
everything.
Yeah, everything's
Bit of everything that you
cooked.
need.
Okay.
Takes
Lovely roast
time, doesn't it? Takes time. You
potatoes.
can't just bang a roast
Ooh.
together quick, otherwise it'd be shit, wouldn't
Yorkshire pud.
But I'd worry about, I don't know, maybe I would have to have the Knickerbocker Glory first, because I'd worry that I wouldn't have enough room because the roast is so heavy. But can I have a little bit of a time between?
Yeah, it's not like an eating challenge. It's not like you have to eat it in an
yeah.
hour. You can have as
Yeah.
much time as you want.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I might space it throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you
I
go,
would
Jane.
have trifle as well. I might have trifle and then roast dinner and then Knickerbocker Glory. That's what I love about Christmas. Trifle for breakfast.
Yeah. That old tradition, trifle
Yeah.
for breakfast.
Oh, love trifle.
Lovely.
What's
Yeah.
Christmas like in your house?
Well, since my mum died, it's just not what it used to be. My mum was great.
Right.
She made it all really fun. Like she'd be like, right, we're playing limbo,
Hmm.
like really fun. but now, with my dad and my brother, yeah, it's not as fun. But I got it with the kid. Well, yeah, because I don't know really where to put myself because I've got these children now. Have I ever told you about this?
You've got children now.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not my children. So my
Have
partner's.
you kidnapped them?
Yes. Wow, get this
Kat
right.
Slater's children.
So the kid's mum is so dysfunctional that I'm considered the safer option. Isn't that mental?
Bloody hell. Who's she pretending to be?
She's on drugs still. So she, God bless her. She's just had a difficult life, but
Yeah.
so the social took her 4 children from her, put them with us, and then the kid's mum decided she was like, fine. Well, with most mothers, you'd think that this was their rock bottom. Not this one. She was like, fine, if you're going to take my fucking kids, come and get my cats too.
So you've got the cats as well?
Yeah. 4 kids, 3 cats, a grandma and a lizard we had for a bit.
Hey, Grandma.
Yeah, for a bit. Because she was poorly.
what you call the grandma lizard.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. God rest her soul.
Fucking hell, your house must have been crazy. Like,
Pardon?
did they all come to your house?
Yeah, they did for a bit. And for a
Still
bit.
got the cats.
No, they went back. But the mentality of because then someone else that lived nearby looked after the cats, and then the kids and the mum went round there. You're gonna steal our fucking cats. It's like no, they're just looking after them because they got mange. Like there's just you don't have to fight everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are just trying to help you out.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But she's like, you know, the people that you see on the front page of Take a Break magazine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Like, I left my husband for a spatula.
Davey Ash was on the cover of one of the magazines.
Yeah.
He was like,
What?
Yeah, because he was like, I tracked down my long lost father, and he said, "Go away."
Yeah.
That's
It was on.
brutal, that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
rough. It was in the magazine, but it was mad. Like some of the other stories on the front page with it as well. Just the, like you say, the fucking mad stories,
yeah.
aren't they? Like,
Yeah.
Mental.
yeah,
But so now that I've got the kids, it's a bit more
Christmassy.
chaotic. Yeah.
but feels a
yeah.
bit more Christmassy though, innit, with the kids about
Yeah.
So what novel are you reading, or been last one that you read? And what
Well,
did you think of it?
I always read. I'm a creature of habit, and so there was this because I would one day like to foster. I think so. I read the books that I probably was reading the same thing last time I saw you. I read this woman called Kathy Glass. It's like her alias, and she fosters, and each book is like a different case of someone that she'd fostered. And then I really got to know her family and really grew to love her. So then I was like, well, I'm gonna have to read all of her books. So there was 33 books. So I read all of her books, and then I was like, Kathy, because it was the end. But then she just brought another one out, so I've just read that. And then now there's this other one called Casey Watson. She also fosters kids, but she doesn't quite have the heart of Kathy. but I've now started. I don't know. It's so weird. I think, I feel like it's like a sort of because I read every night before bed, and I feel like I'm like involved in this family that I'm not, and I really take comfort from it.
Yeah.
So is it like real stories, but under like a pseudonym or whatever?
Yeah. Because obviously you can't say because of the kids in it, but they're all. Some are lovely, but some are really, really sad, and they're all in the UK. So I read them before bed, but I don't think it's good for my dreams.
Maybe not. Yeah.
No.
Well,
that's mental dreams.
Solid. Did you have any scary dreams last night after playing Resident Evil in ours?
No, I was out.
No.
I was out quick when I got home.
Yeah,
was all
so
right.
much fun.
We did have a big fun, didn't we?
Yeah. Do you
all
read, Callum?
toughed out.
Do you like books?
Not really. I think I mentioned last time the only book I read recently was the Tattooist of Auschwitz.
Oh,
yeah. So we like sad books, eh?
It is a bit, yeah. It's quite sad. It's got like a little love story going on as well, which is quite cool. Don't want to spoil
What's he doing on them, like tramp stamps and stuff like that?
Yeah, just little tribal tats and stuff.
Yeah, Mike Tyson ones. Yeah.
Cobwebs on the elbows.
My favourite book series is a sad one as well. Flowers in the Attic.
Fathers in the Attic.
Flowers in the Attic.
There's just loads of dads up there.
Dressed as Batman.
What?
Like Fathers for Justice.
All right.
I was just like superheroes.
It's funny because the story's about a mum who abuses her kids and locks them in the attic and feeds them arsenic donuts.
Arsenic donuts?
Oh my God.
It's arsenic donuts.
Are you reading that at the
Arsenic's
minute?
like a
I've read
chemical
it. I've read them all. It's a big
And
series.
a donut.
So Flowers in the Attic. The flowers are her children. Locks them in the attic. And then the sequel's like Petals on the Wind or something because they escape.
Wow. And is it real? Is it a true story?
No, I don't think so. It might be.
Sounds like it could be based on a true story though, innit?
Virginia Andrews, her name is.
That's isn't it? When you read it and you don't think it's a true story, then you realise it is, and you're like, fucking hell.
You know. Cat's back. Okay. So, Joe Nolte.
That's how you say it.
Nolte. It has to be my favourite guest so far. I could listen to her chat away all day. Nothing serious, but I'd like to know, cat or dog? Go-to takeaway or tea? The worst heckle or response she's had from an audience? How she finds dealing with emotions? Shit days and depression as a comic when people assume you can brush it off and be funny 100% of the time.
So we go through these one by one.
Okay.
Cat or dog?
Neither.
Okay.
Horse, as we've established in the break. Harriet loves horse ass.
Oh, yeah. Horse ass.
Their bottoms are just absolutely beautiful. Don't you think?
Yeah, glorious, Andy, yeah.
Yeah.
Horse.
Horse.
Do you know, I've just been thinking lately about cats and dogs, and I because I did really want a dog, and then we looked after my partner's brother's dog.
What dog was it, do you know?
Oh, one of those fucking stupid ones that can't breathe properly. It's just
A pug or something?
A bulldog or a
French
bulldog.
Yeah, it was just, it kept being sick, can't breathe properly. When you took it out, it kept sniffing up twigs. And then it wouldn't be able to breathe. The whole thing was just an absolute... And then we were told to give it this strict diet of ground up bone mints. And then it was just sick everywhere. Oh, it was just, and then I just felt like this should not be a thing. It's not fair.
Yeah, that's the thing with designer dogs.
Yeah.
Like, we want to, there's rescues everywhere, but there's one in Cyprus that I've got my eye on, a dog rescue. And they'll just, I think you pay them like £100 and they sort the passport
Flights
out.
and accommodation.
Flights and accommodation. And then they just send it over. But they're all like really well socialised because they've been on the streets. Like, they're fine with cats, dogs, whatever. And they're just like, they might have behavioural issues because they've never been in a home, they're off the street. But they're the dogs with the best personality and also the most appreciative. Rescue dogs are like so loyal to you because they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you give me a bed. Oh.
So like Fagin on the street.
Yeah.
Yes, you.
We've got a little rescue dog.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, we got her from like a home, but they weren't like treating her right.
Yeah.
Right.
She was eating like carrier bags and stuff.
Oh.
And we had she took a poo in the garden and just like a proper like carrier bag just came out of her arse. Like a magician's sleeve.
Self-cleaning.
Yeah, just pick it right up, tie it. There we go. Right in the bin, nice and easy. More dogs should eat carrier bags.
Oh my God.
A magician's sleeve.
That was like, you remember back in the days, soap bar, dirt bar. Dude, I remember.
Weird, like Rocky.
Yeah, I remember once there was a rubber glove at the big fat block, and there was a rubber.
Oh,
glove
you told us that last time.
Yeah. As well, because you know dogs don't like to go downstairs very much. So the dog, I thought, oh, it's not happy with these stairs. So then I went, but it was just going like that, and then I was like, what is this dog doing? So I went to, it was fucking jizzing.
Was it?
At the top of the stairs with its So I went
to really like stairs, that dog.
Yeah, so I thought it was having because it was sorry, no one needs and then it was just like splattered out.
Oh.
In the carpet.
No, at the top of the stairs outside because we like live in a flat, and then so I was about to take it downstairs, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to even go on a walk with you now, you dirty little scoundrel.
So what would you have as a pet then?
Yeah, what's your favourite animal?
Any animal you could have, doesn't have, not even like a usual pet.
Because cats, I just don't trust them. And once I looked after a cat for a friend. I think that's the thing. I've just had unlucky cat and dog situations because I looked after a cat for a friend, sat on my lasagna.
The cat
Garfield?
Silly bloody lasagna! See how do someone a favour, that's what they repay you. I always like the idea of having pet frogs, but then a friend said that if you touch a frog, your skin damages them.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because they've got special skin.
Yeah.
You get like warts as well. Or is that toads?
I think that's just fairy tales.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, yeah. It seems like so. If you kiss them, they don't turn into princes either.
I've kissed so many as well.
Having a frog would be cool. Like, I've seen a video of someone who's got a few frogs and they just look dead silly, like jumping on each other's heads and
got
that.
big smiles on
yeah,
them.
Yeah,
I would do want a goat. Yeah.
A goat?
A goat, yeah. Oh, him love goats, yeah.
Him is obsessed with goats.
I think a chameleon would be sick.
Yeah,
imagine when you're like mushrooms or something.
You've got to have two though, haven't you?
Oh, have you?
Yeah, because they get really depressed on their own.
Oh.
So you need to have one. In like Sweden or somewhere, it's illegal to have one gerbil or one like some other animal. Guinea pigs, and yeah, because they get depressed on their own.
Aww.
So you legally have to have two at least if you're going to have some. But chameleons are the same. They're dead social, so if you have one on their own, they just get depressed and like...
Isn't it like rats as well? Rats are like...
Probably, yeah.
Get, like, bad depression.
Most animals are probably quite social.
They need therapy, don't they? Yeah. We should start a little...
Animal therapy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that'd be a good TV show, that.
Yeah.
It's a little gerbil in a spinny chair, and we're just sat opposite him.
I'd love if we could get a little pygmy goat.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Wouldn't it?
My friend was telling me that. Do you remember when it was the phase where you had them little teacup pigs?
They're not teacup pigs, though.
Well, exactly.
They all grow to a full-size pig.
Yeah, I've had one.
It's a scam.
I've had one, yeah.
So you had one thinking it would fit in a cup?
Yeah, a chav come into my auntie's shop, opened his coat, and was like, "Do you want to buy a pig?" Genuinely, it was a little pig, and it was a full bacon pig, but they'd stole it off the mum, so it was just a new baby. It was a big pig, but a baby one stolen in his pocket, and we bought it for like £60. And then it just grew like an inch every day. And we was like, wait a minute. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then it was in the paper. It was like, Arthur's pig stolen. And we was like, oh. So we gave him back. And now
God.
somebody's eating it.
He's eating it.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
someone has,
that
innit?
was the fate of the pig, wasn't it?
Well, you should have gone Arthur, no.
But do you know what's dead sad?
No, Arthur doesn't care about the pigs. It's his business, his bacon,
Yeah,
innit?
and it's dead sad because me auntie, I think, went back to check and he said, like, because we called her Phoebe after Phoebe off Friends. And he was like, oh, she's, like, dead socialised. Like, she'll come straight up to you. Like, she's the only one that would, like, come up to you and, like, for strokes and that. Dead.
Fun. Next
Sad that, innit?
question.
Yeah. It's sad that, innit? It's true.
I know, yeah.
Someone ate my pet pig. Yeah, she was lovely though. But and they're dead, like, they poo far away from the house as well because they can smell it because they've got dead strong noses. So they poo dead far away as possible.
What about when they're all just kept in a little quarters?
Oh,
They must be
horrendous
having a
for them.
terrible
Yeah,
time.
horrendous for them. Yeah, yeah.
Next question.
Go-to takeaway or tea? Do you know what? We never have food questions.
Yeah,
So we'll go both, can't we, really? Take away, what's your
Takeaway.
nicest one? You've already said salt and pepper prawns.
yeah, I
so
love Chinese.
Little Chinese one, yeah. Is
Chinese, yeah.
that what you get? Salt and pepper prawns? What
Yeah,
else?
well, you've got to find. Well, we have a difficult with who I live with. We all like different because the kids and my partner like ribs, but then one place doesn't do good ribs but does good salt and pepper prawns. So that it's like spinning plates to get us. Then kids don't get this. The kids don't like the chippy chips.
Fuck off.
Exactly.
Chippy chips are like go-to chip, innit?
Exactly.
It's
I don't
deep
f-
fried potatoes.
I know.
Yeah.
They're all the same as well. It's weird. Chippy chips and chippy sausages.
Yeah.
Same everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
a chippy sausage.
Have you travelled much around the world or just the country?
Before lockdown and that, I've done gigs in like Norway and Spain and well, that's it, I think. I've never gone, like when you were saying earlier about travelling to, because people say, oh, do you want to do the comedy festivals in Australia?
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's not so much the actual, like, I'm not scared of the danger of flying, but the length, the thought of 24 hours on a fucking aeroplane.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Your
takes you a
crazy
few
legs
days.
as well.
Yes, well, this is the thing. I think if I can't stretch my legs, and then sometimes I worry I'm gonna split my web. Do you ever get that? Like, you know, sometimes I think if I spread my toes so far, my web, not because we all have webs. I know you think, because I'm Cornwall, I got a big web. I don't. I just got a normal
And I
web.
had web feet.
Really?
Yeah, web toes.
Wow.
St. Helens.
We could release her back into the lagoon. With me. It's a lovely time.
I can't spread I can't even spread my fingers far
Yeah, if I
enough to
spread-
feel like the
I
web's going
feel-
to split.
I feel like if I spread my toe too much, it's gonna split.
How far, how wide can you
I
spread
don't know,
them?
well, it might just be like a paranoia thing, but
And
I
this
think
is stop preventing you from flying to Australia.
because I get it with my legs. Like because I once whinged to a friend at a theatre show. I was like, oh, my legs are too long for this, and he was like, well, how do you think we feel? Because he was taller, but then my partner was like, no, Harriet, your legs are ridiculously long. So I think and if they can't stretch, then I just feel like I get all like anxious.
Fidget, like squiffly leg.
Yeah.
It's like restless leg
Yeah.
syndrome. Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
but that for 20, because what is the deal with? Are they bigger?
I think they
not
stop
much
off
bigger.
somewhere
But
in
they'd be a bit bigger than like a Ryanair flight. You do get
Yeah.
a bit more room on them, but it's like 18 hours. It's like 12 hours or something, and then a stopover, and then like
Stopover
another
in,
9 hours or
Dubai
something.
or Abu Dhabi or something.
But still effort. 12 hours on a plane. Like,
Oh,
it's just,
yeah, and it's just not natural for you, is it? Like it
No.
must do something to your cells or something being up there.
and breathing all that recycled air and that, and then eating the food up there, which is like just got so much salt in it because you can't taste anything up there.
And
So
someone
they put
said
loads of salt in it
Wow.
because you can't, your taste buds don't work the same in the pressurized cabins. That's why all airplane food tastes a bit shit and all kind of tastes the same.
And apparently the water tanks are filthy. Like, they can only clean them or change them so many times a year. So apparently you're not supposed to drink the water from, like, you know, kettle, like, water and that.
Drank that water as well.
Yeah. We all have.
But that's like that. Was it that hotel where the water was brown and because there was a body?
Oh,
in
the
it?
Cecil.
Yeah.
Hotel Cecil.
Classic Cecil.
She's at it again.
Right, next one. Worst heckle or response from an audience member?
Once, but I was oh God, I've had some awful ones. Once, the most like, well, a child said to me, "Why does your face look like that?"
That's kind of worse, isn't it? Because kids speak the truth. Innit? You go, oh, that one really hurt me. Why does it look like this? I don't know.
So that made me quite sad. And then once this guy said, I feel like I told you this last time, but this is quite awful. But he said, "I want to gang rape you all by myself."
Oh, yeah,
Did I tell you
remember?
about
Yeah, you
that?
said
So there was
that.
that one.
That's confusing on its own. Because how'd you do that on your own? Unless he's like schizophrenic or something.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Then I would have had more time for him. If I'd have known. And then just off of the, do you know what I find the most upsetting is when just people will see you're a woman and then just not give you a chance. They just go on there. They just, you haven't even said anything and they just get their phone out and
Instant
or just
attention
turn there.
gone. Yeah, right.
That's I have to. Because when I first started comedy, I remember once. Twice actually. Once once there'd already been a female comedian on, and the problem is when there's some, like, because I'm all for the sisterhood, but there's some female comedians that annoyingly are what. When people say they don't like female comedians, they're
the stereotype of a female comedian.
Yeah. Like I remember not long ago doing a new material night, and there was this female comedian that'd been going for a long time going, the difference between men and women. I don't do the voice of it. The difference between men and women, and it's like that's like 1990. And that's like calm along. But anyway, why did I tell you that? Oh, because then once, so this female comedian had been on stage, and then I was. This is what I was new. That I was after, and then everyone just groaned, and this guy in the front row went, "Not another fucking woman," and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And you would get that a lot when, not so much now, but like when they'd find out a woman was coming on stage, you'd hear an audible groan throughout.
Yeah.
That's shit.
It must be audible, yeah.
Is it because like women are progressing faster because there's a demand for women, like
There's a need for it,
for representation, so people are getting progressed before they're ready for it, perhaps?
What do you mean? So people will grow, but this was like back in the day. So this would just be like, because people would think that female comedians were just men are shit. Periods. That's what they would think. Whereas these days, I don't think.
You didn't have to think to see off though. Either like nowadays, you can be like, oh, Catherine Ryan's amazing. And you go to clubs. There's great female comedians in the clubs and all that. So there's more reference of like, I think whoever like fellas who are in that mindset of like, fucking hell, woman, they're a bit more open to it now because they've seen that, there's some women who can do comedy that isn't just about hating on men and periods and that, and they fucking don't even mention any of that, and they're fucking hilarious. Do you know what I mean? And so there's more variety now for you to go, oh, well, we give this one more of a chance now because they're like a bit more used to seeing a female comedian in it, whereas like years ago, it'd be very rare that you're going to get one unless it's someone massive, like fucking, I don't know, Joan Rivers or something. Do you know what I mean? Like something like that. So like in the club when someone does come up, a woman going, oh, fucking hell, a woman come, someone tells how much she hates men and periods and all that. And really, it's like, you don't really see that much material from women comedians. Like
Now you do shows about being raped a lot. How times have changed.
But what you were saying doesn't like correlate to what you were saying, does it?
No.
So like Amy's talking about now, being like, because there's so much need for female comedians,
For representation.
do some of them get fast tracked a bit too early to get to
Before they're
spots that they're
ready.
not ready for?
Well, when I did the this sounds like when I did the Russell Howard show, they were really on at me for they wanted exactly what I was gonna say, and then they wanted me to send them like every week. For a good few weeks of me trying out the 5 that I was supposed to do in the club, and I was like, but then I felt like a diva because I was like, I'm really not like, I'm so much better where I'm not scripted, so it's not tied down. But then it turned out that the only reason they were doing that was because someone that was new, a girl that had done it before, she said, they were like, we can literally sort you a gig to do it. She was like, no, I've got it. And then apparently she only had 5 minutes and she just completely froze, and they had to, the audience had to have a break, they had to come back, and it was like a whole big thing. So I guess, did you hear that?
I heard something.
Oh my God,
I heard something, I don't know what it was though.
because I did a gig not long ago, and there was a man, we were like whistling at each other. This man in the front row, his hearing aid must have, I don't even know what happened, but it was whistling and it was weird. And then when the other act was on, she was like, "Oh, you two and your fucking whistling hearing aid." But yeah, so that was because someone that can't do 5 minutes
Shouldn't be doing
should
Russell
not.
Howard,
That's
Yeah.
So I think that does happen.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a double-edged sword. I don't know if that's the right word. Because obviously it needs to happen for people to see it and think, oh, maybe I can do that.
But then if you fast track someone and then you get them people who already in their head think female comedians aren't funny, and then they see one who's not ready, and then they go, look, another one who's not funny. You know, so it sort of does hinder the progress in a way, but also you need... Well, there's not enough females on this bill, so we need to get some on.
I just think change takes time.
Yeah, it does.
It happens with agencies though as well. Like new acts when they sign with like a big agency, because that agency's in with these big clubs.
Yeah.
You just throw these new acts into like these weekend clubs, and they're just struggling because they can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Happens loads.
I made up I'm not in the clubs yet.
In the club.
That's why I'm happy I'm not in the clubs yet. Because by the time I get in the clubs, then hopefully I won't freeze up. Whereas I should feel like I should be in them already. Do you know what I mean?
Good. Anyway.
Go ahead. What more heckle or response? Oh yeah, we just had that one.
So how she finds dealing with emotions, shit days, and depression as a comic.
Well, that's the good thing about comedy, isn't it? Sometimes I'll be I've definitely been like, I cannot do this gig tonight. I feel so low and all that, and then you sort of make yourself do it, and then you're like, oh, that's such a lovely time. So I think it's a bad thing really, but I don't really have a social life other than comedy. So that socially, like I'd meet up with, but usually the social stuff I do will be meeting up with friends that are also comics before gigs and stuff. So I don't seem to have time to. I don't know. I'd figure that out in my own time. So I don't think I do deal with it. I'm just very up and down.
Yeah.
And Edinburgh was tough.
Have you recorded that? Will it be out?
Yeah. Well, William is recording it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, so he's recording it. So it was filmed for Next Up that sort of filmed it, but they filmed. So I was paranoid. So these people came and filmed one and put it out there, but I wasn't really happy with it because I was paranoid that my dad was watching it, which I don't even think he was. But I got in my head that my father was watching my story of rape.
Yeah.
and then I'd convinced myself that I'd forgotten how to breathe throughout it, and then so every so often I just kept going.
So off-putting as well, just like half a...
So then I just kept telling the audience about this sort of internal monologue that was happening.
Yeah.
So I would like to do one, and I like the idea. This is what I was saying to Will. I like the idea of, because specials are very alpha, and where people are walking to the club and all this, whereas I've got my little office that's like my mental health centre. I do the tuck shop. I'm on the door. I'm like, right, do you need a toilet roll and all that? So I like the idea of like a really non-alpha special of where I'm working the tuck shop and I'm sorting the lights and then I'm doing the show. So
announcing yourself to the stage and then walking on.
Exactly.
A special would be boss if you had animation. Did animation over your special.
Oh, that would be wicked. Oh yeah, where there's like Space Jam, that there's animated things in the audience. That would be
like a lyric
sick.
video, like them there's the things where people do the freestyles and like all the lyrics come on and shit like that. That'd be cool if you've
got way more freedom with it then, because you can animate yourself as a rocket. You know, you can do
so
all
you mean
sorts.
Harriet's an actual cartoon, or she's herself and there's cartoon stuff going on?
Are endless.
I like that idea, Space Jam idea. Where it's you on stage, and then when you're talking about something, it'll like pop up behind you or whatever. And
yeah, but because it's a rape one though, so we'd have to.
The cartoon's gonna be chaos.
Cartoon rapist.
Yeah, forgot about that bit.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, we work something out.
But there's lots of silliness, because that's why I did it, because it is very funny stuff. Some of the stuff that happens as well. So there are, there's like skateboarding dogs and stuff in it. So that would be great.
There you go. We can have that on the animation.
Woo! Yeah, and it'll deter from the old,
And anytime you bring it up, the dog can just like skateboard past it solemnly. Remember him? No, that's at least that. Did we do proudest and most shameful moment when you were last on?
Yes.
Yes,
because I did about weeing and leaving a note for my mum.
In the wee,
right. Okay,
that was an amazing
one.
story. If you've not watched Harriet's last episode, you need to go watch that as well. I've got, this is one that I've not tried yet. What moment stands out most in your life for you? Is that a big question?
Yeah, I think it's just because of all the rape. I really did have such an awful life, and I did what a lot of, but like I wasn't diagnosed with bipolar till really late, and I was just written off because I was drinking and doing drugs to sort of medicate all the trauma and the not being diagnosed with anything. So, and I really just everyone thought I was gonna die, and no one thought I was gonna do anything. So just the fact that I've sort of I can make a living out of comedy, and that and as together as I will be in life, I imagine is just. What was the question? Is that answer the question?
Yeah, what moment stands out most?
So it really, just that I'm not dead. Really, it's lovely.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So turn that shit
and
around.
Skateboarding dogs, they're always fun as well, isn't it? Callum's got some news features for us. We'll have a little chat about them.
News time.
I don't know. Some of them were from about 8
General
years ago.
news.
Last time.
It's not about me. My life's very
2014.
boring.
No, it's not.
Ready for this? Can you do me like a little news intro, like music and that?
Hello.
No, I'll do the hello. I just need the music.
Oh, what's the BBC news?
That's all right. Where the hell you go?
With some news coming up, here it is.
Nice.
News time.
I'd like that.
Amazing.
Man woke up to find a pee.
Do it.
Man woke up to go for a pee to find he was in a coffin and had been sacrificed.
What?
Mad dish, Right.
How do we know
That
this?
sounds like one of your stories. I woke up, I went for a piss, and I was in a coffin. I don't know how. I think I must have abseiled into the coffin, or I don't know.
So Victor Hugo Mica Alvarez was drinking heavily the night before at the opening of Mother Earth Festival, where indigenous people offer everything from live animals, sheeps, to sweets and coca leaves. Sheeps. Coca leaves for the goddess, who they believe opens her mouth for the offerings in August. So these are
to go to this festival, innit?
Sounds
I don't know.
chaos.
I know, it sounds
What
mad.
about that? Are you thinking, I must
Exactly. Oh, I love sacrifice.
I don't know, it sounds mad.
They got horses as well. You'd just be like, those horses.
I mean,
case.
I won't drink enough to end up passing out and waking up in a coffin, though.
Yeah, but
Famous last words.
yeah.
Scared now.
So, sorry, what country is that?
I probably should have
Sounded some sort of South American from the name.
Yeah.
Like the fella's name as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's somewhere in Brazil, I think.
Oh, okay.
So he said, the only thing I remember is that I thought I was in my bed. I wanted to get up to urinate and I couldn't move. When I pushed the coffin, I was able to break the glass that I had, and that was the way I was able to get out.
A glass coffin?
And
Like
so he was
Snow
in a glass
White?
coffin. I think he was like buried in the glass coffin. But like there was a really funny thing about this. So they put, last year worshippers bundled in warm coats and wore face masks against the spread of COVID-19. So they were very on edge with the COVID-19, but they might bury you.
Yeah. Doing human sacrifices, like put your face mask on now.
Put your face mask.
Mad.
That's mental.
It's mad, that it's a crazy festival, huh?
Yeah. Wow.
Has it been in some state? Like, have you been in some state to a festival?
Have I been?
Like in some states?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Because it could easily happen if you're off your tits on drugs, I guess.
You end up in a coffin as a human sacrifice.
I ended
I've
up
been
in
to Glastonbury, there was no human sacrifice tent. Like,
did you not go to it?
No, I didn't. I couldn't see that one. No. Missed that one.
And then another one is, man suffers 100 erections a day and girlfriend says there's no rest.
100 a day?
100.
Do you know what? Like, men get a lot of stick, don't they? But I feel bad for them with that they can just get an erection at any time.
I used to get it on buses.
Yeah, off the vibration of the bus, or do you fancy the bus driver?
Oh,
Bus driver was fit. Big Dave.
Oh.
Yeah, off the vibrations, you're at stop at the bus stop.
Yeah.
And I just have a proper like stiffy, just in my school uniform. Just like, because when I think
just pressing the stop button with your dick. Oh, sorry, not my stop.
No, make it stop.
Because I don't know about you, I was more horny as like growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
Than I am now.
Yeah. I'd hope you was, because if I was as horny now as I was when I was a child, well, not a child, teenager, like you wouldn't wouldn't get stuff done.
Life smothers your libido.
That should be on there. That's very good.
That can be on the other side.
Get one of them in a neon sign.
Yeah.
Says a lot about our sex life, doesn't it? Life smothers your libido.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I bet in your life, like, there's been a day where you've had sex, like,
battery's dead.
What, like maybe 3 times a day at some point? I'm sure. Has everyone had sex 3 times a day? Well, at least once.
Oh yeah.
Once. Yeah. Now.
Life smothered me libido.
Exactly.
You're right.
Yeah. Like, be asked 3 times.
100 a day is hard work, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, yeah. I feel like you'd be lightheaded.
Yeah. You'd have to wear like baggy pants, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I feel tight pants would be the best bet.
Yeah, you could see like the outline, couldn't you?
But if you haven't baggy pants, like just baggy pants,
tent, wouldn't it?
easy. If you try and strap it down, at least then you're not like,
Yeah,
that's
to wear
true.
A chastity belt or something. Like
what is that?
So it's a cage around your penis.
Pretty much
like a little
meant to
budgie
stop
cage.
you getting an erection.
Yeah, so it hurts.
Little budgie. Little budgie smuggler.
Packing it, that's why.
Yeah, and then some people will like give the key to the mistress or dom.
Yes.
And they're not allowed
Imagine
out.
you lost the key.
Dick and Dom. Sorry.
Just put a little sticker on it.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have to wrap it up there, because I've got to drive.
Oh yes,
a big drive.
Yes. Okay, well.
But thanks so much for coming down, Harriet.
Thank you for coming,
really
Kristen, in
appreciate
the
it.
studio.
Yeah, it was
Thank
great.
you.
Lovely time as always. Where can people find you?
Have a
Stuck
look
in a
at.
swamp or something. Little jelly shoes.
I got a story about a swamp actually, but anyway.
How long is it?
Oh, it's too long, I think.
No, come on, let's go quick. Quick swamp story.
Well, when I first passed my driving test, my first trip out. Did I not tell you about this?
I don't think so.
I ended up. I took a wrong turning, and then my car went backwards into a swamp, and that was my first. And then the AA man came, and he was like, "In all my 15 years, I've never known such a disaster." I was like, "This is my first trip out." And my found out, get this, I got my car on eBay and they put my engine upside down. I was able to drive with an upside down engine.
Why did you write in Ford Fuckhouse or something?
Yeah.
That was a callback to the fake Jordans.
Right,
okay.
It was good, that one. The engine was upside down. Everything.
It was terrible. Even the final straw was the passenger door opened on the motorway. Yeah, sorry. It opened on the motorway.
While you were driving?
Yeah, and it was fully locked. There was something wrong with the catch. So I said to my partner, I felt like James Bond trying to get the door. And he was like, James Bond, more like Mr. Bean. And I was like, very upsetting.
Oh, that's class. Right, so you're on socials and that, innit?
Socials and...
We'll put the little name in there. I'm keeping an eye out for your special that you're filming coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know when it's going to be out? Or
No, it's being filmed on the 20th. Oh, if anyone wants to come, to 29th of October in the Upstanding Citizens Bureau.
You got a link for tickets?
No, I will.
Let me know and we'll put that in. So yeah, nice one for coming down again. Probably appreciate it. New studio. Hope you all like it. On Patreon, £3, £5, £10. Slumber parties with Callum and James. What else is on there? Sports Day, axe throwing, 40 odd episodes,
specials.
Live shows, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we got specials planned for every month, so there's going to be mad stuff on there. Give it a go.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's a murder mystery.
It's a lot of work.
There's a murder mystery on there now as well. Me and Amy tried to work out a murder and get out.
Detective Cogs and Inspector Chow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was a woman, but I had a mustache as well. Well,
so is it
so
you given the cards like the proper game, and then you have to?
It's like on a computer, so you have to like work out and get through like an escape room and work out the clues to see.
Yeah.
But we were dressed as I was kind of dressed as a jazz musician, but it was the best we could do in 5 minutes. So yeah, go check that out on Patreon. Go have a look at Harriet's stuff. What are you doing, Callum?
I'm working on stuff. Secret stuff.
Something coming.
Something exciting.
And you'll be here a bit more as well, won't you? So you'll see a lot more of Callum.
Callum News.
Go check out Callum on social media and that, and keep an eye out for his exciting project that's coming up.
Yep.
But other than that, nice one, everyone, for coming down, listening, checking out the new place, and we'll see you all.
Let us know in the comments if you like the studio.
Yeah, man.
The
Throw in there. The old algorithm boosting comment. Right, we're off.
Right, love you, bye.
Nice one again, Harriet. See you later. Bye.